Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today we have a nice 11-game NBA slate. Before I get started, can you guys smash that like and subscribe button? We have a lot of injuries on this report, so let's get into it here. So for the Magic, Isaac is questionable, and Carter Jr. and Fultz are out. For the Cavaliers, LeVert is out, and Wade is questionable. For the Grizzlies, Smart and Kennard are both out. For the Wizards, Poole and Shamet are both questionable, and Wright is out. For the Nets, Simmons is out, and Walker is out. For the Hawks, Jalen Johnson is out. For the Timberwolves, Edwards is questionable and McDaniels is out. For the Heat, Bam and Hero are out and Highsmith is out. For the Hornets, Ball is out and Mark Williams is questionable. For the Bulls, Levine is out and Craig is questionable. For the Rockets, Thompson is out. For the Jazz, Markkanen, Clarkson, and Olenek are out. For the Mavericks, Irving, Hardaway Jr., and Grant Williams are questionable. Josh Green and Cleaver are out. For the Trailblazers, Simmons is questionable, Grant is out, Ayton is doubtful, and Williams is out. For the Nuggets, Murray is questionable, and for the Clippers, Plumlee is out. So, lots of injuries today. Hopefully, we get some more good value play opened up. Though there's some good value already today with some of these guys being out or already ruled out, like Ayton and stuff being doubtful. There's definitely guys that we like. But let's get into our core plays here. So we have DeMar DeRozan and Duop Reith. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, from Portland. Now, I'm just going to talk about these guys first. So Reith is likely to start for the Trailblazers, assuming that Ayton is locked out, and if that's the case, then he'll become a must-play on the slate at just $3,200. He's played well the last few games with in limited minutes, and he's really not been terrible. He's had a good, fantasy points per minute and stuff like that. So I really like his potential here. He does need to score some points though to do that. He's also hitting threes, which is uh, interesting. So he's obviously in play here. As for DeMar DeRozan with Levine out, he's going to get more a part of the offense. You can see in the last game he played 40 minutes against the Pelicans. He's had a few days off of rest, so he should be good and fresh here to have a nice big game against one of the weakest defenses in the NBA. So I like his potential here. Nice upside. And I mean, the way the Bulls are playing, it probably won't be a blowout, so that's the good news. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our main plays. So we're going to look at Joel Embiid first. Embiid has played absolutely phenomenal lately. He's played very good since Harden left, and I look for him to continue that here. His price obviously is super high, but he has a high ceiling, and he's playing very well, and he's got a good matchup against Washington, who doesn't have anybody that can stop him. Then we'll look at Trae Young for Atlanta. Now, he does carry some risk in this game. I don't typically love to use guys against Brooklyn, but he's playing so good right now. His price is just right at $10,000 still. If it gets any higher, he'll be harder to roster, but he's been playing extremely good. He's got a high ceiling. If you ignore the games against Cleveland and Miami, he's pretty much been over 50 fantasy points in most games, especially lately. He's been absolutely on a tear. As long as he continues this tear, then I'm going to like him a lot as he shoots a lot of threes, does a lot of assists and everything else. And so I really like his potential in this one. Looking at Sengun for Houston, he plays very good lately. He has been over 50 fantasy points in 3 of the last 4, even against decently tough teams. So this Oklahoma City team does not have much to stop him either. He's played very well this season, and his price is still pretty good. He has actually been better on the road than at home, but he's still good enough at home that he has a lot of potential here, and I like his potential scoring upside in this matchup. Then we'll look at Van Vliet. And apparently, occasionally, there's days where Houston just looks really good, and this is one of those. Oklahoma City doesn't play a lot of defense outside the SGA. It tends to be shootouts, and this is going to be a shootout type of game. I like Van Vliet here. He's played very well throughout the season. His price is still pretty good, and so he's in play on the slate. Rozier also in play for Charlotte. Now, his first game without Ball was not very good, but his last 2 games have been solid, and I look for him to continue that. He's going to get a lot of shot opportunities as long as he gets the rebounds and assists that he typically gets, about 8 or 9 total combined. He should be fine here, but he just had one game where against the Knicks where he didn't. This is a great matchup for him against Chicago. This should be a game that should be higher scoring than typically either one of these teams play to. So then we'll look at Darius Garland for Cleveland. Now I really like him a lot on the slate with guys out in Cleveland. He gets a boost. And that gives him a nice upside here with LeVert. Excuse me. He has some good potential in this game, and his price is still pretty good. Once he gets over $8,000, he's going to be hard to roster, but right now he's still in a good spot. and so I do like him a lot. Looking at Jarrett Allen, he also has some nice potential in this game. And Wendell Carter's still out for the Magic, so that he gets a nice little boost here. He's played very well the last few games. Now that his minutes are up into the mid 30s, which gives him a lot of upside, as he typically is a good point per minute guy. The risk here is sometimes he doesn't play 30 minutes, for whatever reason, foul trouble or just blowout type situations. But this game should be a little bit lower scoring, and as it is two tough teams, but he should be able to get a double double and payoff here anyway. I really do like him quite a bit. Then we'll look at Jalen Duren for Detroit. Now, he's played very well this season. He's only had a couple off games. He had a bad game against the Lakers, but aside from that, his price is still really good. It actually came back down because of that game, and he's played solid throughout the season. So he hadn't played a ton of games, but he definitely has some good potential in this matchup. PJ Washington is a good value play today. He's not starting anymore. He's coming off the bench, but he's still managing to have really good fantasy output. He's playing a lot of minutes. With Bridges back in the lineup, he's taking that reserve, six-man role. He seems like he's thriving in it, so as long as he's thriving in it, he's definitely in play. His price has also come down a lot as a result of that role, and that really helps pay for him here. Looking at Bojan Bogdanovic, this is Detroit's Bogdanovic. He's only played one game, but he played extremely well against Cleveland. He gets a better matchup here against Memphis, who still can be a tough defensive team, but he should be fine. He's a pretty consistent player usually when he's playing, and I like his upside in this matchup. I think his price is a little bit too cheap. He'll probably get up to about $6,000 when it's all said and done. And so, both the Bogdanoviches, when they're playing, they typically are pretty capable players. Now, Jabari Walker is also in play for Portland. He's played a decent role lately, though his minutes are somewhat all over the place. But with all the injuries to the Trailblazers, he might get more minutes today. If he draws a start, then he becomes a really good play, almost a must play at least. So we'll have to wait and see what the starting lineup for Portland is. Obviously, Reith is a risk with that starting lineup until we know it for sure. But if he draws a start, he'll be fine. So with that said, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. And have a nice day, guys.